Okay, so if you've been working with AI and your own documents, you've definitely heard of RAG, right? Retrieval Augmented Generation. It's become the go-to pipeline. But here's the thing, for complex, real-world documents, this standard approach is, well, it's fundamentally broken. Today we're going to dive into a new way of thinking that goes way beyond simple retrieval. Welcome to what I like to call the age of AI exploration.
So let's start with a really core problem. Just think about any important document you deal with. A legal contract, a financial report, maybe a dense technical manual. They all have a structure. They've got chapters, sections, exhibits, cross-references, and all that hierarchy is packed with meaning. Yet, for some reason, the AI systems we use today pretty much just pretend it doesn't even exist.
The promise of RAG. It sounds like pure magic. Just upload your files, ask anything, and boom, you get an answer. And look, for simple question and answer stuff, it actually works surprisingly well. But the reality for any complex task is totally different. Instead of these nice, coherent answers, what you often get is fragmented context and completely missed connections. It leaves the AI just unable to see the whole picture.
All right, so let's break down exactly why this magic so often fails. Because once you understand the limits of RAG, that's the first step toward building something way, way more powerful.
The real villain in this whole story, it's a process called chunking. See, to make these big documents digestible for an AI, we have to chop them up into these small, isolated pieces. And it's that very act of slicing and dicing that completely destroys all the rich, meaningful structure of the original document.
And this has some really serious consequences. A paragraph talking about a purchase price has no clue it's connected to Exhibit B that's 3 pages later. Those critical cross-references that link different parts of a document, or even link out to completely different documents, they just become invisible. The AI isn't really reasoning here. It's just doing advanced pattern matching on these little isolated fragments of text.
Which brings us to a really crucial point. RAG is built on one main idea: finding chunks of text that are semantically similar to your question. But similarity is not the same thing as relevance. Just because a chunk of text uses similar words doesn't mean it actually has the answer, or even the context you need to find it.
So the alternative is to let the AI navigate documents the same way a person would. Instead of this brute force retrieval, we need intelligent exploration. And this leads us to a much more intuitive model.
Just think about how you'd find something like the return policy in a user manual. You wouldn't start reading from page 1 word for word, right? Of course not. You'd scan the table of contents, you'd jump to the returns chapter, scan for a keyword like electronics, and then follow any references to the warranty info. That's intelligent navigation, not just finding similar-sounding text.
And that brings us to the hero of our story, Agentic Exploration. This is a totally different approach, where an AI agent doesn't just passively retrieve some pre-computed chunks of text. No, it actively explores a whole set of documents. It scans, it reads, and it follows the logical connections, the cross-references, just like an expert human reader would, adapting its path for every single query you give.
So let's get into how an agent actually pulls this off. It's not magic, it's a really well-defined strategy that combines high-level scanning with deep dive analysis.
The agent basically uses this 3-phase strategy. First, it does a parallel scan of all the documents at once, getting a quick preview of everything to just understand the landscape. Then, based on that scan, it does a deep dive, reading the full content of only the most relevant-looking files. And this is the crucial part. If it finds a reference to a document it initially skipped, it has the ability to backtrack and go read that file.
Now, to pull this strategy off, the agent is equipped with the whole set of tools, kind of like an expert researcher. It can scan entire folders, it can preview individual files, parse complex documents into clean text, or even use powerful text searching tools like grep and glub to find specific patterns across files. It's all about choosing the right tool for the job at each step of its investigation.
And this, right here, this is the key differentiator. A RAG system is static. Its index of chunks is created once, and it never changes. Agentic exploration is completely dynamic. The path the agent takes through your documents is unique to every single question you ask. It's following logical connections, not just some pre-computed idea of semantic similarity. Now, this doesn't mean that RAG is useless, not at all. It's really about understanding that we have 2 different tools for 2 very different jobs. One is about retrieval, and the other is about reasoning.
So here's a simple guide. You should use RAG when your needs are pretty simple, when your documents don't really reference each other, and when you need an answer like right now. But
when you need to synthesize information from multiple, interconnected documents, think legal analysis, financial due diligence, and when accuracy is absolutely everything, agentic exploration is by far the superior approach. So, if you take just one thing away from all of this, let it be this right here. RAG is a fantastic tool for finding things that look similar. Agentic exploration is a system that's designed to actually understand things. It's the difference between a search engine and a research assistant.
Ultimately, as we start asking more and more complex and nuanced questions of our AI systems, we need them to do more than just retrieve facts. We need them to investigate, to reason, and to connect the dots for us. The future isn't just about finding information, it's about genuine exploration.